week 7 اللي هو self assessment. It's similar to what we did in assessment plan. We did self assessment in the plan. What is the difference?
It's because this week focuses more on assessment as learning. So think of an activity that you will carry out with the students in class, design it in the sense of create the objectives and the instructions for the activity. And then how are they going, the students themselves are going to self-assess their work. That's it. So in this week, you're going to focus more on a tool that will help the students self-assess their progress. That's it.
But
Yes.
we aren't supposed to do any rubrics or something like this?
The idea is when it comes to rubrics, you have already created a rubric for the portfolio, right? And in the videos, yes, in the videos that you have seen in this week's materials, it's again talking about using rubrics, correct? So think of something new, please. Yeah, try to explore and find a way that will help the students like develop their self-assessment skills.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Any more questions? This from the ones here in the room. Okay, so since you're here, guys, and you're on time, let me share with you the groups. And actually, I did my best to fit what you have shared with me. So if there is a problem, a huge problem, just let me know. Okay? I just shared the groups in the chat. And these are the groups that you are going to work with. Okay, are we all set?
Yes, guys? It's okay for me.
Okay, for you? Okay.
Yes.
Whoever is present in here, are the groups fine with you? You're too silent, and please, I don't want to receive messages after our meeting. So it's either you speak now or, huh? Right, let's move on. So no problems related to this week's task, right?
Yes.
Okay, alhamdulillah. So here again, supposedly you will finish week 7 today. I'm glad that it's working perfectly well with some, and thank you for letting me know. Guys, at any point, if the line starts breaking up, please let me know, okay? I don't want to spend a while speaking, and then you're not actually following up with what I'm saying. Next week, you're going to, or next, actually, sorry, today is the due date for this task that has to do with creating a self-assessment tool. You can, in this unit as well, there is the letter of feedback. It was introduced as a tool to help the students exchange feedback to one another. What I'm just asking you to do as you're thinking of a learning activity that is carried out in your class is to try to get a little bit creative in designing a self-assessment tool, okay? Then, starting today actually, and hopefully maybe you'll get started on it tomorrow, is you will go through the materials readings related to providing feedback and exploring portfolios. And as you explore
دكتور ممكن أقول حاجة؟
Yes, مشير.
سوري، هو أنا بعت للدكتور، يعني هي مش متعلقة بالمادة، بعت متعلقة بالكورس الجاي. في مسج وصلتنا كلنا، فكنت حابة أبلغها للكل. ممكن؟ هو أنا بعت شكرا، بعت للدكتور وليد أو مستر وليد، قلت له المفروض نحجز، بس احنا مش عارفين رقمه، رقم الكورس وكلها كلاسز. بلغني، طلب مني ان انا ابلغه ان كلنا المنحه هيتم التسجيل لنا اوتوماتيك، فجروب المنحه مش محتاج يعيد التسجيل تاني، هم هيتولوا المهمه دي بس كده. شكرا.
Okay, so I think the message is delivered clearly.
Thank you.
Okay, so back to what we were saying. So starting today, and maybe for you tomorrow, if you would like to get started on the new week's material. So there is a file that has to do with portfolios among the readings, but I believe this is one of the readings, the articles that you should not skip. You will find the file or the article entitled Portfolios More Than Just a File Folder. What's important about that is that it introduces the types of portfolios, and also it shares with you different, let me go up a little bit. So here, that's what I was referring to. So this particular article talks about different types of portfolios, and then it defines them in detail and explains the purpose, why each portfolio or why each type of portfolio is important. And as you go through again the article, you will find that it provides you with very, very useful materials when it comes to portfolios, how the student can actually like check the work inside the portfolio, depending of course on the grade levels that you're teaching. You can get back to that. Very useful rubrics if you would like to again refer to them. What I'm saying is this is not actually a piece of reading to skip. And why is that? Because later you will need to move on to the task that is due next Saturday, which is actually the last task before you get started on the projects, which has to do with building a portfolio plan. So if you're already there, I'd like you to check out the week 8 project that has to do with the portfolio plan. And then I'll share with you like a sample from previous classes about what some have done. Here, you're just required to develop a plan. This means no details are required. It's a rough draft to what if I want to start a portfolio, to build a portfolio in my class. Again, as we just mentioned, there are different types for portfolios. So we have a growth portfolio, we have a past portfolio, we have a showcase portfolio. So, and the purpose of each portfolio is clarified enough in the piece of reading. So what you're requested to do is you're going to choose a type. So let's assume, for example, you are going to go for a growth portfolio. This is a portfolio that you're going to carry out with your 10th graders, probably in your sciences class, okay? If you want to integrate, of course, different subjects, please feel free to do that. But I'm just sharing with you some samples that I have. So, and this is in the template that you'll be referring to. So first, state the objectives. So what are the objectives that you're trying to show evidence for the students' learning through the portfolio that you are going to ask the students to build? So here, for example, the teacher chose these portfolios. The students are going to list and understand different cheap and clean energy alternatives used to generate electricity. Not only that, the students are going to actually design a cheap and clean energy source to light the class. What I'm asking you to do as you're developing the plan and when it comes to writing the objectives is that you need to touch upon objectives of low and higher levels of thinking. I don't want you to go all for low levels of thinking, yes, but you may go for high levels of thinking all because again, it's a portfolio. Remember that the purpose of this portfolio is to show the growth and the progress of the student. So I'll go back, but I just want to show you what are the items that the teacher chose to include in a growth portfolio. Because again, this portfolio needs to show the students' progress when it comes to learning and meeting these objectives that the teacher specified at the very beginning, right? So here she decides that she is going to ask the student to do the following. So I'll ask the student, for example, since he is going to design a cheap and an alternative source of clean energy to light the class. So I would like the student to provide pictures of the development of this portfolio, of this prototype, sorry. So the students are going to take different pictures to the prototype at different phases to show the steps, for example, in an experiment. And to also document different stages that they went through in order to reach the design. If the students are going to do some lab work and I want again to show their growth, so I want the students to include a number of lab reports to show how the students are improving and achieving or mastering the learning objectives. She also wants the students to include some worksheets, pieces of writing, for example, right? I want the students to include, for example, some self-assessment tools, such as here she created a prototype checklist. So this is what the student is going to also include. She provided a sample. You don't have to provide a sample, but I'm just sharing with you what I already have. Okay. So, and again, important part in the portfolio plan is to consider what items are you going to put in the portfolio. So again, you're going to talk about the objectives, the purpose of the portfolio, why, what is it for? Okay. So for that teacher, for example, one of the purposes is to demonstrate the students' growth in terms of understanding types of energy sources and how to use them effectively. How the students, for example, are going to implement the steps of the engineering design in carrying out or in building a prototype. Okay. The time period in which the portfolio is going to cover is going to be 1 trimester. Okay. In her case, she chooses that it's going to be not an e-portfolio, but an offline. This means that it's a sort of a physical binder that the student has to show. Okay. An important part again, who is going to be responsible for the selection of the work. So in that case, she decides that it's going to be the student, but he has to do that, of course, after discussing like the items to be included in the portfolio with the teacher. Okay. Who will view the portfolio? This is a very important part. So in that case, it's going to be the teacher. And most importantly as well, she included the parents and the head of stage. She came up with a brilliant idea that I want parents, after they review the portfolio, that they would take a survey to assess how far they feel their children have progressed or they have learned. Okay. Here she chooses to develop a whole rubric, but you're not requested to develop a whole rubric. Okay. But here, what you're requested to do is to provide criteria for evaluating this portfolio. So let me share with you another sample. So here, for example, another teacher from a science class. Unfortunately, they were all science classes, science teachers in that class. So here, the teacher chooses another type of portfolios, which is the showcase portfolio. So these are the objectives that the students are going to investigate and understand basic sources of energy and their transformations. This is what the students are going to analyze as well. So they are going to analyze transformations of energy. They are going to create and interpret a model or diagram of energy transformation, compare and contrast. They're going to chart, analyze. So these are really, really, really good objectives. Okay. And at the end, they are going actually again to design a prototype or an application of the use of solar and wind energy. Okay. Here she created a simulation of real world purpose of the portfolio. So for example, here she states that when we're going to select the students, because it's a showcase portfolio, so the students are selecting their best work and they are going to present it in a certain conference meeting, which she labeled as the 2050 carbon dioxide free emission conference meeting. Okay. And again, the duration, that portfolio would show evidence of learning for a month and a half. This is probably like half or midway in the semester. And then these are the items. I want the students to include a presentation. I want them to include an analysis. I want them to include the concept map. But I have to say that the items included here are not as strong as the one in the other portfolio plan that I showed you first. Okay. And since here she created a simulation of a real world conference, which she labeled as the 2050 carbon dioxide free emission conference meeting. So the audience here would probably be like the conference attendees audience, teachers, other students. Okay. So when the students will meet with teachers once per week, and again, that's only what you're requested to do is what are the criteria that you're going to put in a rubric to assess the portfolio, but you're not again requested to develop the whole portfolio. Okay. So far, any questions related to the task when it comes to week 8? Let me go back to Moodle. So as I was stating, for those who just joined in, today actually is the beginning of week 8. So hopefully by the end of today, you're going to submit the task related to week 7. And then starting hopefully tomorrow, we're going to move on to building a portfolio and again, feedback, providing feedback. Okay, and with that unit, you have a project as well, but it's an individual one. You're going to develop a portfolio plan that I have just, as the one that I've just shared with you. So questions so far related to week 10, sorry, week 8? Guys, questions? Is there a no? So no questions on the WhatsApp after we leave, please, okay? Let's move on. Again, I just shared with those who are here, the groups when it comes to the project work. So here, again. So these are the groups. Because again, I'm not going to see you before next Tuesday. So by next Tuesday, I would like you to have started on the project, because you requested to deliver stages 1 and 2 in the UBT. And let me check the specific date. Just avoid confusion. So part 1, what I mean, week 9 and week 10. This means the first 2 parts in the UBT unit of yours. It's going to be due on Monday, okay? This means a day before we meet. So we're meeting next Tuesday. I would like you to submit the work, please, a day before, so I have time to have a look at the first 2 stages of your projects, okay? And then on Tuesday, when we get to meet, actually we can meet in groups. There is no point that you all meet together, since we have to sit together and discuss each group's work. You follow? So you have 3 groups, for example. We're starting our meetings from 7. So let's say, for example, first meeting from 7 to 7:45 p.m. of course. Right? So this is for group 1 or 2 or 3. So you tell me how you would like this to work. Okay? Does this make any sense? Are you okay with what I'm saying?
Doctor, I have a suggestion.
Yes, please.
Last semester with Dr. Muhammad, we created a Google document and we shared it with him. It was a great idea to follow us and to give us feedback. I hope we can do this with you if you
yes,
find it a good idea.
Yes, it's a good idea, but we still need to meet.
Yeah. We can meet if we want that, but the feedback was very beneficial for us. And we always worked on the points which he told us to work on. It's just an idea, and it's up to you.
It's a very good idea, I agree. But I want you to share with me the Google document, the link to the Google document, which you are going to post your ideas. And hopefully by Monday, I want you to be done with the first 2 stages. So I give you the feedback, and still we meet the following day to have everything discussed. Okay?
Okay.
But what I want you to do right now, you do have the groups. I just shared them, and I shared them actually more than once. Okay? So, and we have 3 time slots. So what I want you to do is, you tell me, shall we go by order? So group 1 from 7 to 7:45, and then the week after we shuffle, we change. Or you would like to choose with your group members the time slot that works best with you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, we prefer to choose because one of the members, Marilise, she sleeps early as she wakes up very early. This is why I think she didn't attend it today.
Yeah, but the class, I understand that your sleeping habits, but the class runs from 7 to 10. Yeah, we need to be a little bit flexible. Anyway, يعني if you are okay with a certain timing, it's fine. بس يعني the excuse itself
when
يعني
she's working earlier.
we all have work to do. But anyway, so yes. So would you like to go for 7 to 7:45?
Yes, for our
Okay.
group, we prefer to be from 7 to 7:45,
Okay.
please.
So this is for group 1, I guess, right? Your group 1?
No, we group number 3.
3, sorry.
Yes, Rania, Mai, Marilise, and Nagu.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what about the rest? Guys, please. Group 2 and group 1.
For
Yes.
group 2, for group 2, I suppose we can from 7:45. I suppose it will be fine with everyone.
Yeah, it's
I
fine
have to
because
check
no
with
one said
Dalia.
anything. So خلاص, it's
Is
taken.
everyone in group?
It's fine, it's fine.
Okay.
خلاص كده it's done.
Okay, I
أصل
have
يعني
to
it
see,
will take
okay.
a lot of time, and then at the end I receive many questions. Okay, so it's all set now. So group 1, it's from 8:30 to 9:15. Group 3 from 7 to 7:45, and group 2 from 7:45 to 8:30. Okay, and again, please, the idea that again Nego suggested is very good. Create a Google document and submit the link, please, on Moodle. And I'll take it from there, no problem. And it could be submitted by one of the group members on behalf of the rest. So share with me the link. Of course, I'll share with you the feedback, but still we need to meet the following day. Same thing, by the way, with stage 3. Unfortunately, I had to put stages 1 and 2 together for a simple reason is we don't have really time to have each stage at a different week. We won't be able to finish on time if we did that. So accordingly, stages 1 and 2 are due next Monday evening. And then stage 3 of the UBD is due Saturday. That's why I would like to receive your work by Friday evening. So I have a look at it on Saturday before again we get to meet. So this means that we are meeting this week on, or sorry, next week we're meeting on Tuesday, yes, and Saturday as well. Same timings that you have specified. Okay. Is that clear or there is sort of confusion?
Doctor,
Yes. Yeah, I can't hear you, Mushir.
I want to ask about the
Yes.
weeks we need to work on this week, from week 7 to week 9.
Week 7 supposedly ends today. But today you need to finish the self-assessment tool.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, we didn't get this.
Now, if we don't abide by the timeline, we won't be able to finish the course because this is an intensive course.
Yeah.
Okay, so today, please, I'd like you to submit.
Week 7. Okay.
Yeah, the self-assessment tool, and by next Saturday, the portfolio plan.
I'm confusing.
No, it's fine. It's fine, but it's all on Moodle. And by next Saturday, the portfolio plan, because on Monday you need to finish the first 2 stages. See, we don't have time to waste actually.
Please, about the groups, because I have interruption in the session, so I don't listen. I carefully.
I'll share with you the group members again towards the end. But now, do you have any questions related to the timeline? So what are we doing this week and next week?
Yes, yes, I have a misunderstanding about you distributed days for groups. So I would like to know the base what we will read for our project.
For your project, you're going to do what you usually do. You design a UBT unit. I believe you're familiar with that already, right?
Okay.
Is the line breaking up? Guys, do you understand what is the project about?
Your voice was lagging, doctor. Can you please?
Okay, let me say it again. Do you understand what you're expected to do in the project?
We are going to do as usual, Ionet?
Yes.
Yeah, the UBT unit, the stages of the UBT unit, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You did that before. I'm sure you did it more than once, not just once, in all the courses
Yes,
that
we
you've
did it
taken.
3 times.
Yes, so you did it more than once. That's what you will be basically doing. And as you're designing the UBT unit, you're not going to repeat something that you have already worked on. So you will have to think of, again, a new design for a new unit. Don't please copy anything from a previous course. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, clear.
Good. So you will do exactly the same. The UBT unit has 3 stages. 1, 2, 3. Because this is an intensive course, I'm sorry, I tried to do my best, but again, we have to leave some space for the presentation, or whichever way idea you have for presenting the work. You think and get back to me, I don't mind. But from what I'm seeing, I don't think we have much options. Because here, we don't have students in the classroom, so we can't actually showcase anything from classes related to the application of the unit, right? So again, stages 1, stage 2, stage 3. 1 and 2, they are due next Monday. So you need to get started as quick as possible. Please don't copy from previous ideas. Think of a new one, new unit, and design stages 1 and 2. And in 2, this is the main, this is the core of our course. Because 2 is the evidence of learning and the authentic assessment. So you're required to, in my point of view, or at least this is how I did it with others in other courses. When it comes to stage 2, you might need to think of at least 2 performance tasks. So design 2 performance tasks based on the graphs that I previously discussed with you. Create scenarios, create products, create not the rubric itself, of course, but at least think of the criteria that you are going to use in assessing the students. Okay? You need to think of the self-assessment, what self-assessment tools you're going to use. How are the students going to like peer assess, self-assess, and reflect on their learning? So stage 2 is actually at least when it comes to our course, is the main focus. Okay? And then stage 3, when we get to it, but let's again review it together, you have to think of the learning experiences, the actual lesson planning, right? Initiating, ongoing, culminating activities. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you understand what I'm saying? Good. So we need to get started on these really quick, and not I'm not receiving feedback. I'm receiving questions as if. Anyway, so you understand what's the UBT unit, what it is about, the stages. So you need to get started. Yes, Mike.
We worked with 2 different doctors before. One of them asked us to
Asked you to what?
at the beginning of the unit to
Yes.
have the starting activity at the beginning of the unit. And then all the days will at the end of the day.
طب can you say it again, May? معلش, I'm sorry because the line was breaking up.
I was asking,
Yes.
one of the doctors asked us to have the starting activity, ongoing activity at the first day, and the ongoing activity at the rest of the days, and the culminating activity at the final day only. But the other doctor asked us to have the starting, ongoing, and culminating activity in each day. So each day would have the 3. So which one we should do?
No, go for the for the first way of doing it. It's easier for you. That's it. يعني the initiating activities at the very beginning of the unit, ongoing in the middle of the unit, and then culminating at the end.
Okay, thank you.
This is easier, by the way, both ways work, but what I'm sharing with you now and what you already did is easier. That's it.
Doctor, I have a
Okay.
question, please.
Yes, go ahead.
I want to ask about the strategy which we will work on this unit. Last semester we worked on EDB, and the previous one was about inquiry. So what's the strategy should we work on this unit?
You choose, because again, they all work with your STEAM framework. No special focus, but the focus here is on stage 2. How are you, with the authentic tasks, how are you going to phrase them? What products
So
and perform? Yes.
the strategy is up to us. We can choose any strategy to work on.
Yes, but what again you which I just mentioned that I want you to focus on, and please don't skip, is stage 2. I want to see like authentic tasks that are well developed, well designed, 2 at least. In addition to self-assessment tools for the students. You don't have to develop them in detail, but at least tell me what tools are you going to use with the students, okay? You might need to include rubrics as well, but for rubrics, let's stick to one, at least one rubric, and pick a rubric for whichever product you want to actually go for. Yani you decide. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
And again, there must be space also for the students to reflect. So this reflection section, because again, it comes in stage 2. How it's going to work, what tools the students are going to use, right?
Okay, so doctor, we are supposed to finish stage 1 and 2 by Monday?
Yes.
Okay.
For one reason, we don't have time. So we have Monday, and then next Saturday, and then week after the presentations.
Okay.
Okay. I want you just to keep track of the deadlines. In the middle, there is the portfolio plan. I shared it at the very beginning of our meeting. I hope that you had time, or you were here when we were saying that. If not, please review the recording. Okay. And Mr. Osama, I shared the groups again in the chat. Do you have any questions so far?
Thank you.
Okay, no, I'm asking, by the way, again, everybody, do you have any issues, anything that you'd like to discuss before we go?
Hello.
Thank you.
Yes, Mark.
Dr. Yasmin.
Huh?
I am Hanan.
Hanan, yes, Hanan.
Okay. You said in the last you will write the group again.
Yeah, dear,
Group,
I just did.
Yes, I see it in the chat.
Okay.
Okay. The week 8 we have to build a portfolio.
Yeah, it's due next Saturday.
And next Saturday.
So next Saturday, the portfolio plan. Next Monday, as Nagwa suggested as well, and this is a very good idea. Instead of sending me a document, share with me a document. It will serve the same purpose, and I'll put the feedback there, of course. But I want to see it on Monday before I meet with you on Tuesday.
Okay, we have 3 days only to work in part 1 and 2.
It's not about the number of days. It's just because this is an intensive course.
Yeah.
So you need to do double the effort.
Yes.
Because the semester officially ends at the end of the month. We don't have time. Yes.
Okay. Can you get me any details about building portfolio?
Yeah, I just did at the beginning. So check the recording.
Yes. Okay. I read it before and listen your instructions. But I didn't find the start point. يعني مش عارفة ابتدي منين أو ايه نقطة البداية اللي تخليني أنطلق.
So what did I say at the beginning when it comes to the portfolio plan? What are you going to do first?
I will see the syllabus and I don't where I find it.
I shared things with you now, right now, when we actually at 9:15, 9:20. So So what did I say?
I can get here in the model, or I must repeat the recording again.
Yes, please, but because that's why we're meeting. I'm not meeting with you to repeat what's on Moodle. What's on Moodle is for you to refer
Yes,
to.
yes. يعني
But
أنا
I
هلاقيه على
added
موديل
اللي هو ايه بقى؟
اللي هو syllabus.
Dr. Yasmin, the unit we will start here stage 1 and stage 2, which stage 1 is the follow back. Okay.
The desired results. Stage 1 has to do with the desired results, the objectives, or the understandings, essential questions, skills,
Okay.
knowledges and skills. Yes.
It's written in details in the project.
I don't
The final
get it.
project, huh?
I don't understand. What do you mean?
He says that think of a theme of a STEM unit that matches your context. Define key disciplines.
Yes, you have to think of a theme and then draw connections between hopefully between different disciplines in the group. Yes.
But you said that you said that there is 2 stages, stage 1 and stage 2. Stage 1 for the desired result and objectives, and what else? Stage 1.
It's not me. It's the UBD design. It's not me who says that. The UBD design has 3 stages. So stage 1, standards, objectives, and goes with that understandings, and then knowledges and skills, essential questions. Then you move on to the assessment, stage 2. Designing authentic tasks aligned with the objectives. Yes.
So I think in this unit we will focus on assessment, on the pre-assessment.
No, what I'm saying, for example, and I'm not really sure, maybe it was Nagwa who was asking, are we going to design the learning experiences as inquiry-based, as project-based, as problem-based? You pick, you choose. By now, you decide. But
yes,
what is the core of our course? But that does not mean that the other stages are not important. No, they are. But we will focus on the performance tasks. Stage 2.
Yes, the performance assessment or performance task. Okay, authentic and the pre-assessment and the ongoing assessment and the summative assessment or the final assessment.
The authentic tasks come first because the pre and the ongoing and the post assessments, they will come in the lesson plans that you will include.
Okay. So
but the authentic task, this means you create a scenario for the students. You are an engineer, you're trying to create this product in order to solve this problem in a community, and you will come up with these products, and you will have to do these performances.
Yes, like the example you give us about
well, not necessarily what I shared, but come up with with other ideas, better ones.
It was new one. Yes.
Please.
Yes. Okay.
So 2 authentic tasks.
We will generate new idea, maybe about
make up new units. Create new units, please.
Maybe about what problems.
You decide about whichever problem you want the students to address.
Okay.
Thank
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Any other questions, guys? Are we all set? No problems with the groups? Because I'm not going to receive a single comment relating to the groups. Anything to discuss? Okay. Thank you. If you don't have any questions, feel free to go. Hanan, stay. And others, if you have questions, stay.